Chapter 41. Jolly Good Show. Come down in an orderly fashion, ordered Grandpa. One at a time, please. As the first elderly inmate abseiled down, Jack remarked, But I thought they were all fed pills to keep them asleep. They were, but I shared out my Smarties. You did ask for rather a lot. The boy felt a wave of panic crash over him. But how many of you are escaping tonight? Jack's grandpa sighed. I hardly need to remind you, Squadron Leader, that it's every British prisoner of war's duty to escape. All of them. Every last one. Put the kettle on, Mr. Churchill. We'll be home by tea time. As each elderly person reached the ground, Grandpa saluted them, and then they took off their nightwear to reveal their civilian clothes underneath. Good evening, Major, said Grandpa to the old gentleman, sporting a ruddy nose and a monocle. Jack recognised him from the visit on Sunday. Lovely night for a breakout, Wing Commander, replied the man. Grandpa saluted the next old chap to come down the rope of knickers. Good evening, Rear Admiral, he said. Evening, Bunting. Jolly good show on the escape, replied the Rear Admiral, who once must have been very high up in the Navy. He was the man from the living room the day before, the one with the hearing aid that whistled so loudly it would make everyone else deaf. Oh, thank you, sir. Be sure to come and have a glass of bubbly aboard ship with me to celebrate when it's all over. Be delighted to, replied Grandpa. Good night and good luck. Good luck to you too. So it's this way to the wall, is it? Went on the Rear Admiral, in no apparent rush to escape. Jack pitched in. Yes, sir, just climb up the overhanging branch of that willow tree and you can get out that way. Right. I'll take a stroll over there then, replied the Rear Admiral. See you on the other side. With that, he saluted the boy and began to light his pipe. Maybe wait until you're over the wall, until you smoke your pipe, sir, suggested Jack. You wouldn't want to attract the searchlights. No, of course not. Silly of me, agreed the old chap as he put his pipe back in his pocket and stepped out into the darkness. Suddenly, something of an uproar was coming from the roof. The final escape. The large lady Jack had spied yesterday in the living room had become stuck in the hatch. Now she was calling down for help. I'm stuck, Wing Commander, she cried. Oh no, sighed Grandpa. It's Trifle. She must be one of the WAFs. Women's Auxiliary Air Force, replied the boy. Yes, but instead of mapping out positions of enemy aircraft, she's been at the cakes. I should have known she wouldn't make it through that little hatch. Squadron Leader, you stay here. I'm going back up, he announced. No, sir, replied Jack. It's too dangerous. I'm coming with you. Grandpa smiled at the younger man. That's the spirit, Squadron Leader. With that, the pair began climbing back up the rope of knickers to the roof. It's much harder going up, said the old man. By now, the knickerage had been stretched to nearly breaking point. Seeing all the rips in the silks on the way up, Jack wasn't convinced it was going to take Mrs. Trifle's weight on the way down. But there was no plan B. They would have to try. Finally, the pair managed to hoist themselves up onto the roof. Jack and his grandfather stood looking at the stuck Mrs. Trifle and pondered what to do. One arm each, I think, said Grandpa confidently, as if he was an expert at extracting large women from small hatches. This is most undignified, announced the elder lady. Miss Trifle was frightfully posh, and I need to use the powder room. The what? Asked Jack. The convenience, replied the lady. The what? The boy had no idea what she was talking about. Sorry, I don't know what you were talking about. I'm bursting for the bog, shouted Mrs. Trifle angrily. Oh, sorry. You'll have to wait a moment, Trifle, said Grandpa. First we have to get you out of this hatch. Yes, if you wouldn't mind. The tone was sarcastic, as if it was all Grandpa's fault. It certainly wasn't his fault that the lady had spent a lifetime eating cake, but there was no time to get into all of that now. If only we could get someone up the rear and push, mused the old man. Oh, charming, complained the posh lady loudly. You make me sound like a broken down bus. If you could keep it down, please, madam, whispered Grandpa. You will alert the guards." "I won't say another word," replied Miss Trifle, still a little too loudly for Jack and Grandpa's liking. "Ready, squadron leader?" asked the old man. "Ready, sir," replied the boy. Grandpa and Jack took an arm each. "Take the strain, squadron leader," said Grandpa. "Now on 3, heave. 1, 2, 3, heave!" Nothing. The lady did not budge an inch. "This is not an idea of a nice night out," said Miss Trifle, helping nobody. Again ordered Grandpa. 1, 2, 3, heave! Still nothing. "Next time someone asks me to join them on the escape, please remind me to politely decline," muttered the lady, mainly to herself. "I only said yes for the 3 smarties." "One last go," announced Grandpa. 1, 2, 3, heave! This time, somehow, Miss Trifle managed to slide down the hatch, back into Twilight Towers. "Well, thank you very much," complained the old dear. "Now I'm stuck here forever." "What on earth are we going to do, sir?" pleaded Jack. "We're never going to get her free, and time is running out." Chapter 42. Bruises on the Bottom. "I am thinking, squadron leader," said Grandpa as they stood on the roof of Twilight Towers. "I don't want to leave a single man." "Or lady," corrected Mrs. Trifle. "Or lady behind. We need backup. Let me call on the Army and Navy." With that, Grandpa scuttled over the edge of the roof and called out into the darkness below, "Major! Rear Admiral!" "Yes, sir," came the voice of the Major from the ground. "I need reinforcements." Without hesitation, the 2 old war heroes made their way back across the lawn and up the rope of knickers. They were followed one by a dozen or so of other scapees. "Would you mind hurrying up, please?" complained Mrs. Trifle. "I do need to use the loo." The old folk joined together to form 2 human chains. At the end of each chain, someone held on tight to one of Miss Trifle's arms. "Teamwork," announced Grandpa. "That's what will win us the war. Teamwork. We need to work together." "Hear, hear," agreed the Major. Next, Grandpa called out his command. 1, 2, 3, heave! This time Miss Trifle shot up through the hatch. In an instant, everyone flew backwards to end up piled on top of each other in a heap. "Oof! Teamwork, sir," remarked Jack with a smile, as he climbed out from the bottom of the pile. "Bravo, one and all," said Grandpa. "Right now, everyone, back down the drain pipe, quick smart." One by one, the other folk made their way back down. Miss Trifle was the last in line. Surveying her for a second, Jack whispered, "I'm not sure the rope will take her weight, sir." "I checked, and rest assured they're all top-quality British-made knickers, squadron leader. I am sure everything will be fine, if Trifle just listens to my instructions and takes it slow." Mrs. Trifle was not one for listening, though, to instructions from anybody. Without waiting, she grabbed hold of the nickerage and launched herself off the roof with far too much gusto. Just as Jack had predicted, the rope could not take her weight, and she slid down it at an alarming speed. Ah! A pair of the silky knickers ripped, and Mrs. Trifle landed on the ground. Thud! "Ow!" she screamed. Fortunately, she did not fall too far and was not badly injured. Just a few bruises on her bottom. The rope of knickers followed her down and landed on top of her head. "Now I'm covered in knickers," she complained loudly. "I can never show my face in polite society again." "Shh!" shushed Jack. But it was too late. The nurses stationed atop the observation towers could not help but hear the very loud Miss Trifle. Immediately the searchlights circled. One picked out Mrs. Trifle along the gaggle of elderly escapees hurrying across the lawn. "Quick! Run for the willow tree!" Jack called down from the roof. "It's your only way out. Help each other as much as you can. The old folks surged towards the wall. Suddenly, a blinding blaze of light lit up the building and all its grounds. Ding, 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 ding! The bell in the tower began to ring. The alarm had been raised. One of the searchlights caught Grandpa and Jack on the roof. For a moment they were framed in the glare of a light. When the rope of knickers broken, there was no way down. They were trapped.